I now call to order the March 28, 2016 meeting of the New Caney Independent School District Board of Trustees at 6:32 p.m. Let the minutes show that a quorum is present with all members in attendance. Please rise for the invocation to be given by Mr. Mixon and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance in honor of the Texas flag to be led by Ms. Harrell.
That's right. If I was going to come to you tonight, just ask that you keep your hand over this district. We thank you for all the many students and teachers. Just ask that you continue to keep us safe and bless each one of us. We thank you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. You raise the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Item 2 on the agenda is recognitions. We have our Student Athletes of the Month presented by Mr. Brent Sipe.
Yes, sir. Good evening. We've got 4 good candidates again this month. Get this out of the way so everybody can see. And we'll get started with Betty Hernandez from Porter High School. Come on up. Come on, Coach. Congratulations. Right here where everybody sees. There you go. Betty's on the soccer team at Porter High School, and Coach Matthews says she is a very special player. She was first team all-district pick last year as a freshman and played midfield while she played midfield for us. Moved her to defense this year. She made the transition with ease. She's a top candidate to be named the defensive MVP of our district. Put Betty on the other team's best player, and Betty shuts them down. She is one of the reasons that we were able to make the playoffs this year. Her unselfishness, quickness, and sacrifices help the team. Excuse me, I can't read tonight. Help the team makes Betty the perfect athlete of the month. I'll get that out. Congratulations.
Great season.
All right, next, from New Caney High School, Candace Lucia. Come on up, Coach Parker. All right. Coach Parker says about Candace that she is an asset to the New Caney High School softball, basketball, and volleyball team. New Caney High School as well as New Caney ISD. Candace exhibits persistence, hard work, sacrifice, and focus, all the while being very humble, compassionate, grateful, and honest. She is the true definition of a team player. In softball this year, Candace made a hitting switch from the right side to the left and still has a .317 batting average. She's starting left fielder. All this has been done as a freshman. We're very excited to have Candace as a part of our program and are anxiously looking forward to the future. Next, from Porter High School, Nolan Gerfers. There's Coach Nall. Congratulations. Coach Nall tells us about Nolan. He has done an outstanding job this year. He went to his first regional swim meet. In and of itself, that's quite impressive. When you factor in that Nolan has only been swimming for less than a year, that puts a whole different spin on it. And so Nolan's progress over the last calendar year is well summarized by 2 facts. This time last year, Nolan was enrolling in his first swim lessons as a beginning swimmer with no experience at all. Not only did Nolan make it to the regionals as an individual event, but he made it into the A final heat and set a school record in the 100-yard breaststroke in the process. The old record was 1:08:15, and Nolan's new record was 1 minute 6:44. Coach Nall has very, very high expectations for Nolan and looks forward to the next couple of years with him. All right. Finally, from New Caney High School is Gilly Alamasi. He was unable to be with us tonight. He had a meeting downtown for the Youth Leadership Development Program, which is part of the scholarship program that he is getting through Colby College. Coach, where's Coach? Coach Cardenas is going to be up here and accept this on his behalf. So, Coach Cardenas talks about Gilly and says he's very proud of this young man and his accomplishments as a varsity player all 4 years, twice nominated for first team All-District, All-District captain as well, academic All-District, academic All-State, outstanding athletic achievement award in 2012 through 2016, the Eagle Spirit Award. For cross country, he had the athletic award for 2012, 13, and 14. He's a Bezos Scholar. There were only 12 students in the nation that were accepted to this, by the way. Junior and senior class president, Texas Boys State nominee, Award of Excellence from National Academy of Future Physicians and Medical Scientists, member of the National Honor Society, co-founder of the Momentum Program at New Caney High School, member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, volunteer for Montgomery County Medical Reserve Corps, volunteer for Shattered Lives, and is the UIL Invitational Program feeder as well. And sometime he finds some time to go to school in the classroom as well. Thank you. If I get the student athletes and their coaches to meet us in the back for a picture, please.
Next up, we have our ABCD Award presented by Mrs. Becky Martin.
I have the very distinct honor tonight to present this award to somebody who is so deserving that she literally saved a life in what she did. So I'd like to ask Becky Nichols, our nurse at our school, to come up, please. It's a surprise to her. It's not. It's a surprise to her. We didn't tell her at all this was happening. I gave her a different reason for coming, so now I have to apologize for a lie. About a month ago, I think, a student was sent to the nurse. He was having some pains, and she decided after checking him out that he needed to absolutely see a doctor right then. And I don't know, would you like to come join us? Come on up, Blake. Blake is here right now. Come to find out, it took, and where above and beyond the call of duty comes in, is that she was doing her job in finding out what was going on and trying to get him help. But she had to track down Mom, who was in class, and was very, very persistent, not only after she got a hold of Mom, but very persistent in that you don't put this off. Take him to the doctor now. Get him there now. You know, because all of us as parents, well, we'll get an appointment, we'll get him there, we'll get him there. No, you get him there now. I would like to read, if it's okay, the letter that was sent to her from the mother, just to show you the heartfelt sincerity. It was discovered, by the way, that he has a very rare heart condition. He's already had heart surgery since this, and it is a corrective surgery that is 100% effective. Blake no longer has this condition that he was born with, and which would have resulted in sudden death. I mean, she literally saved his life, which the family is eternally grateful for. But let me read this letter to you very quickly. Miss Nichols, you literally saved his life on Friday. I will never have enough words to thank you properly. Please know how incredibly grateful we are for you, for the fact that you love our child, and for all you do every day, this year and every year you've had him. We would have never caught this without your insistence for him to be seen. God used you in an incredible way to save one of the most important kids in the world, mine. I cannot believe that all of this has happened in the last week. I still feel like I've been punched in the stomach, and every time I am introduced to a new doctor, I expect them to tell me it was diagnosed wrong. Never in a million years would I have thought that we'd be dealing with this. Please keep praying. We need all you can send our way. You made an incredible difference in our lives, and I will never be able to thank you enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bless you. She takes care of us so well that she doesn't let teachers or students get by with being sick, and in the process, fortunately or unfortunately, has found another student with a heart condition. So she is always on top of us, helping us every day. We love her.
Wow. Follow that. Item 3 on the agenda tonight is the open forum. I don't believe we have anyone signed up. Is that correct? We're going to move some things up on the agenda, get some things taken care of. Item 10 on the agenda, we're going to move up as a consideration for an out-of-state field trip for Porter High School TAFE, presented by Mr. Yancey.
Well, y'all remember in our November meeting, we brought you a slide presentation and showed you some of the awards and some of the things that our group, our career and tech group, has done. And I know the sun is getting you there, but we've had 4 teams already qualify for nationals. DECA's internationals this year. Luckily, the restaurant management team that we had come in and do the presentation, their national competition is in Arlington this year, so they're not going to have to go out of state. Now, next year it's in Alaska, so if I'm still here, I need to go as chaperone for that. We'll do that. But anyway, we've got 3 groups going. We've got DECA from Caney ISD, Porter High School. They've qualified for the international meet, and it's in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. And then we have TAFE, the Texas Association of Future Educators, and it is in Boston, Massachusetts. And so you've seen on the website, these kids are doing a great job. This will be paid for with career and tech funds, our state funds, and we're just asking for your approval to let them go out of state. And when after they win, they will come back and give us a presentation so that y'all will be able to see with food. This group is not one to cook. Yeah, we can sure get you some.
We can organize some marketing campaigns for you, something like that.
Get you worked out. These teachers do a great job, and we really appreciate it.
Have any questions?
Will you be back for 2 days?
Of course I will. Yeah, coaching and not doing it.
All right, this covers 3 action items on tonight's agenda, 10, 11, and 12, so we're going to have to vote on them separately. On action item 10, are there any questions or further discussions? It's the consideration of out-of-state field trip for Porter High School TAFE. Is there a motion to approve the out-of-state field trip for Porter High School TAFE?
So moved. Second.
Motion's been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion is approved. Item 11. Are there any further questions or discussions regarding the out-of-state field trip for Porter High School DECA? Is there a motion to approve the out-of-state field trip for Porter High School DECA? Motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion is approved. Item 12 on the agenda was consideration of the out-of-state field trip for New Caney High School DECA. Any further discussion or any questions? Do I have a motion to approve the out-of-state field trip for New Caney High School DECA?
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all, and have a safe trip.
Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Coach. Come back and let us know how it goes. Look forward to hearing from you. That's like that was like.
All right, item 4 on the agenda is closed meeting. The board will now meet in closed meeting under the authority of Texas Government Code Section 551.074 for the purpose of personnel matters, Government Code 551.071 for attorney consultation, Government Code 551.082 for student discipline, and Government Code 551.072 for deliberation regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. Any action as a result of the closed session discussion will take place after the board reconvenes in open meeting. The time is 6:49 p.m. The board ended its closed meeting at 7:43 p.m. and will now reconvene in open session. Item 5 on the agenda is reports and proposals of board members. Do we have any reports from board members? Item 6 on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Do we have an update on construction from Mr. Gates?
Okay, got a few things going on. Can show you what's going on over at the White Oak Fieldhouse. There we go. There's our open canopy, as you know, a little bit different than what's over at Woodridge. It's got more ceiling height, looks pretty good. On the inside, you can see this is the locker side, and things are moving along. Well, I'd say roughly we're 65% complete there. So we don't see any problems with finishing that by July. We'll move over to Aiken. This is, they've completed the asbestos abatement remediation. That used to have the flooring in it, it's gone. That's down the hallways that's actually not down the hallway, that's through the pre-K classrooms where they took out the VCT that was half of the classroom. And then the last thing they did was take off the exterior skin on parts of the building where we had some hot material behind it. Fortunately, they were able to remove it without taking all the sheathing off and pretty much leaving the building wide open, which is another reason why we're moving along with the Aiken, the new job. And that's all that I have on that one. Our card readers are looking pretty good. We've got our stuff going. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be installing wiring and cameras. We'll start over there with Casey, Porter High School, and the middle schools. Porter High School actually bids tomorrow, so we're here when we're staying with the Porter High School job. That was an addition, 20 classroom addition, new ag stuff. The Aquatic Center, looking good. It went out to bid today. We had bids April 21st. That construction was completed about a year, well, July 17th. We have the roof project, which is new roofs on Crickman, New Caney High School, and Kings Manor. That construction documents there are probably about 75% complete. It goes out to bid in April and goes to the board in May. Then we have Kings Manor. It's about 80% complete with construction drawings. It goes out in May also, goes to the board in June. And then our last job that we've got under progress right now is the early college. And it's about 30% through design. And we're moving along to get completed and out to bid sometime in September. So, if you've got any questions about that?
Yes, sir. Any questions?
And I think now we want to talk a little about a little presentation on the natatorium. And so I want to bring Laura Sockleven up. She's with Stantec in our project department.
Good evening. I'm here to give you an update on the Aquatic Center, which is proposed to be located right behind us here on the north side of this field house. Just going through the scope of what's going to be in the Aquatic Center, athletic administrative offices are going to be located there. That's for the district. A 25-yard competition pool with 8 competition lanes. The depth is going to be 4 foot, the shallow end down to 12'6" in the deep end, and a 4 foot wide bulkhead. Some of the things, added pool features that have been added since we started this project. The pool size is a little bit larger than where we started. The reason being, this is a district-wide facility that eventually is going to serve 3 high schools with the growth that the district is looking at. So we want to make sure that because it is where all the teams are practicing, that there's enough lanes for that to happen. So that'll give them 15 total lanes with that pool size. There is 1 meter diving in the pool, but also the design accommodates future 3 meter diving. There is not currently 3 meter diving at the high school level, but there is talk that that could happen one day. And the kinds of changes that you would need to do would be like a deeper pool and a higher structure, and those are things you can't come back and do. So we've designed that in now. There's also a meeting room. It's positioned so that it can be shared by the athletic offices and the pool area. Spectator seating for 400. One of the things that we've done there is that seating is raised. It's a raised gallery, so that helps us have a smaller footprint. Also separates that seating from all the activity that's going down the pool. There's swimmer locker rooms, coach's office, a hospitality area, which is basically where you have some concession for any events that are going on there. A pool manager office. There's a lot that goes into taking care of an aquatic center, and that's what that's for. And athletic locker rooms that are going to be at this existing field house. Looking at the site, you can see where it's positioned just to the north of where we are here. There actually will be a courtyard that's created in between these 2 buildings. So that when you walk in, there's kind of a gathering space. When there's pool meets, there's a lot of people that come to those meets, and they don't all fit inside of a building. And so having a kind of courtyard space on the site is going to be a really nice way to accommodate those people that are coming in for those kinds of meets. Look at the floor plan. On the left, you can see the athletic locker rooms, which have 70 lockers each. That kind of peach-colored area at the upper left is where the athletic offices are. Surrounding the pool are all the things like the scorer's room, the locker rooms, public restrooms, all those kinds of things. And then, of course, you've got the pool in the center. One thing I should also mention is that there's a glass wall that's at the end of that pool, which will help maintain the visibility that you have through this facility that you're sitting in right here. So looking at the second level, that's where you have the seating. We have seating for about 400 people at this facility. And one thing I should mention, because we talked about the pool size and being able to run 15 practice lanes, the way that's done is you'll see you have the major lines running from left and right to right on that pool, but you see the dashed lines that are going from top to bottom. You can actually run cross course, so run your lanes the other way, and that way they can run multiple high school practices at the same time. This is a view out on the pool deck, just looking, you can see the scoreboard and looking out towards the north. This is looking back towards the field house. This is from up at the spectator level seating, and you can see that the program, like the coach's office, locker rooms, all those are tucked in underneath that seating area. The delivery method for this is competitive seal proposal. As Richard stated, the drawings are available today for bidders to start picking them up, to start the bidding process. So we'll be bidding in April and May. Construction is planned for 13 months, so that the district can move in July of 17. The budget is $13.8 million. We've had a third-party estimate at this point that is estimating about $15.07 million, which equates to about a $1.2 million overage. Right now, this is a third party, so they tend to be conservative. So we hope that with the bidding market that it's going to tighten up. questions?
There you are. Ms. Becky Martin will provide a report on the Houston Endowment Grant.
I'm going to introduce her. Y'all know Becky? Before she gets up here and talks about this opportunity, we're in constant search for avenues for kids to get into college, pushing our middle kids to move further. And Becky has found a grant that would allow us to get a program into our district. Pretty heavy amount of money. So actually tonight we're just asking you or telling you that we're actually going to do it. We haven't presented it. In fact, we got to get permission from the Houston Endowment Grant to do this. But we wanted to give you the heads up on what we're planning. And Becky's done a lot of work, not only for early college, but this will affect Porter High and New Caney High as well.
Okay, we're going to go through this. There were a couple of things that we're going to skip, but if you wish to have the PowerPoint to see all the details and to see the videos that explain what AVID is more, in depth, I don't mind sharing it with you. We can do that easily enough. But I wanted to let you know with the Houston Endowment, they do provide grants even on a yearly basis, large grants that can be allocated over several years' time. This is for all three high schools. To help us reach those students who would be first-generation college students, those who are the students who are kind of classified as those who might not go to college for whatever reason, money, they don't have anybody at home who knows how to guide them that direction. They don't have the skills necessarily right now to be successful in college, but that's what AVID is all about. And it fits nicely with our student population in that we have quite a few students that we can serve. We'll skip the next one, skip that one, and then that one. I wanted you to just briefly see, and I've highlighted the areas in AVID's mission, in our mission, and in the endowment's mission. As you go through, you're going to see some of the same ideas crop up over and over, which gives us, I think, a very for me, an optimistic feel that we're going to get this grant, if not in total, in partial at least. As you keep going through, you'll see the various wording that, and notice our little AVID guide, our little reality guide there as well, which does almost match AVID's. We very nicely match all of these missions together. And you can see through the endowment mission, again, we'll go through, and they also encourage, go ahead to the next one, from early childhood on, and AVID eventually would be backed all the way down into elementary, pulling all the way up through high school to get these kids on a path that would help them more so. Some data from, for AVID's target group, you see, I already mentioned the low socioeconomic, the first generation, at risk of not graduating from nor attending college, the academic middle. Any of these would qualify a student for AVID. You can see in our data, this is just 9th and 10th graders in the entire district. There are 2,045. Nearly 60% of them are in the low SES, which is nearly 1,200 students. And of those 1,200 students, 64% of them are considered in the middle, would qualify for AVID. But of those nearly 1,200 students, nearly 70% of them aren't in any kind of advanced class. This would help give them support for advanced classes. This doesn't even include the at-risk or the first-generation populations that we have. It was just in the middle and, what we saw there, the low SES. The impact, I'm going to skip through this very quickly. Basically, the impact of AVID is far-reaching. It touches students, it touches the schools, it makes them more successful in college. Their rate of acceptance, an AVID student versus a non-AVID student into college, is twice the rate of other college acceptance for non-AVID students in the country. Texas AVID students have almost triple the rate of college acceptance as opposed to the national average. Because of the intensive supports that AVID can bring, And it teaches teachers to be able within their individual classrooms as well to provide those supports. There you see right there the rate for Texas Avid students versus U.S. national average, those who are in Avid versus those others. The methodology that is trained, also they take more AP exams than those who are not in Avid. It does help provide support so that even all of our students who are competitive in UIL in any sense, those supports help them to remain eligible more so than they would otherwise. Because not only are they taking more advanced courses, they're getting the support for it. They get more scholarships. It does break a cycle of non-college going generations. Also, it's employing Avid tutors that are from our college. You know, in this case, it would be Lone Star. So we're employing what could be our future teachers because we're bringing them in and giving them opportunities to start working with our students. So it is reaching as far as employment even. It just has an overall positive impact in so many areas. These students come back and they're contributors to the community, helping to raise the quality of the community, raise the level of every area, as I said before, and they become our next generation of leaders. Our next slide. The plan for Avid for the district would be for all three high schools to train an Avid campus coordinator, a district Avid director, and then phase in. Year 1 would be 9th grade, year 2 would move on up until we've got all 4 grade levels, and then eventually reach down into the middle schools. The grant, total cost for the grant would be nearly $750,000. For the cost of the expenses for 3 years are the most expensive in the first 3 years of Avid. After all of the initial training and everything, it goes down considerably. But with this grant, it would be allocated over 3 years, so it would take care of all of the expenses, personnel at the campus level as well. And you can apply for this Avid grant any number of times. So after the first 3 years, in order to sustain the program, we would apply yearly to continue with the Avid campus coordinators and paying for the tutors. There's a video before and a video after to help explain more so from the people from Avid, including the students and tutors, college tutors. The National Superintendent of the Year also speaks on what Avid has done for his district. But that would be another time. So I know that was very fast, but just wanted to let you know what we're pursuing, the cost of it, the scope of what the initial grant, if we get it, is to span the 3 years and how it's going to be allocated, and then that it would be something that we would continually apply for each year after the first 3 years are up. If you look back over the last, it's about 10-12 years of the Houston Endowment in the education area. Many school districts are awarded endowment grants for multi-million dollars in a single year, and almost all of them, the wording is exactly what it is that we're looking for and what matches so many of our students. You know, nearly 1,200 students in just 9th and 10th grade alone, and that's not even looking at all of the target groups within Avid that they say would qualify. Sorry for
Ms. Martin, any questions? Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shocker is very sick. Had to send her home. So that's
Okay.
easy for her to-
We're going to, due to a time commitment, we're going to move up item 14 on the agenda. To discuss and potentially take action regarding student expulsion appeals. Mr. Lockett will be presenting, and these are going to be closed appeals, so we will have to clear the room except for board personnel, attorneys, and the folks filing the appeal and district's representatives. So this time, we are going to move to agenda item number 14, which will be closed. So we will reconvene with item number 7, as soon as these expulsion hearings are completed. Board ended its closed meeting at 11:28 p.m. and will now reconvene in open session. Item 7 on the agenda is consent calendar, consisting of consideration of minutes, consideration of finance reports, consideration of purchasing reports, and consideration of personnel reports. Are there any questions or further discussions regarding the consent calendar?
Is the job description there for it?
Yes, we are going to pull it. Yeah, we're going to pull the job description for the motion to pull. We'll pull the job description for the Ag Barn Facility Manager. Are there any questions or further discussion? Is there a motion to approve the items on the consent calendar?
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion is approved. Item 8 on the agenda is the consideration of approval of a MOU between New Caney ISD and Arrow Child and Family Ministries Freedom Place for 2016-17 school year. Ms. Bass,
Hi,
how are you?
good evening. I'm the Director of Federal and Special Programs. I'm here to present the Memorandum of Understanding between New Caney ISD and Arrow Child Fund Ministries and Freedom Place Residential Care Facility. This facility was discussed between the board and I believe Dr. Neal and John Emmerich probably 3 or 4 months ago in executive session. And for the MOU, I've been working diligently with Dr. Neal and Sandy Baker, Director of Special Education, and with Chandra Carter, who is the Executive Director of Freedom Place. The MOU is an agreement between New Caney ISD to provide educational services to the residents of Freedom Place Residential Care Facility who are eligible for enrollment in and educational services for New Caney ISD. The educational services will be provided on-site at the residential care facility or at a school within the district's boundaries as determined appropriate by an ARD committee or other decision-making process. The MOU, we've been working on this, both parties, NCISD and Freedom Place, for nearly a year, and we have all taken a vested interest in working on the mechanics of the MOU for the protected interest of the district and the facility to provide quality services to the girls residing in Freedom Place. It was very important that we work together over this period of time, definitely to have a credit recovery program that had very high expectations for New Caney ISD's instruction program with Dr. Neal, and to meet the needs of the girls who are going through the recovery program at Freedom Place. So having read through the MOU, what questions may I answer for you?
I have a question.
Okay.
Regarding the section on discipline.
Okay.
If we have a student who is schooled at the location of the center, not on a campus, or even if they are on a campus, what happens if they violate the code of conduct that requires a placement at an alternative facility? Are we going to put them there? Because they may be doing it on purpose. That was my question.
If they were at Freedom Place being educated there and something happened that required that, they would stay at Freedom Place for their discipline. That would be handled within their organization. They would not go to our DAEP or our JJAEP from the Freedom Place.
And those things are spelled out in that, because let's say they assault our employee, then what? We can't remove them from the campus.
I think that and I could be wrong, but I think the facility at that point, they do something with them and probably would move them to another facility. But no, they would not be part of going to, as long as they're being educated at the Freedom Place, they would not go to our DAEP.
They're not going to be on our.
On the campus. However, if you had one that was for some reason on a campus, then that would be something that would be discussed at that point. But the objective is for them to be educated at Freedom Place, and their
But
discipline would take place there.
But it is possible that they would be on a campus. Let's just say they were at Porter High School.
No.
No.
It depends. The only way we would ever do it, usually they're young. We had a couple years ago, we had a crippled kid.
Uh-huh.
And that was the only child that's ever been on our campus.
Actually on our facility.
Yeah.
But I know at this time that Dr. Neal is working on getting an online program that will work with all age levels for girls who are housed at Freedom Place. So at the time, the girl who did have to attend Crippen, the bridge school that Freedom Place used was not, didn't go down that far. It wasn't adequate for that grade level. But the programs that we're looking at now would be able to work with all grade levels where they would be able to be housed only at the residential facility.
We've been very creative with staffing. We're going to work in conjunction with credit recovery. Robin Phelps is our coordinator right now for credit recovery. She's doing an amazing job. Has worked to try to decrease the amount of staff that's going to be needed at the facility. We've gone from 4 to 1. So I think we've got a good plan. And this is new ground we're breaking. We
So I
know.
just wanted to know about the discipline, that's all.
I think we're good.
Okay. And most of the students, if you read through the very long contract that Freedom Place has, they have specialized service levels, and so they require 24-hour supervision. And so that's why most of those students would remain at Freedom Place and not necessarily be placed out at our campuses.
To protect their safety.
Yes.
Yes.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve the MOU between New Caney ISD and Arrow Child and Family Ministries Freedom Place for 2016-2017 school year?
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, the vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion is approved. Item 9 on the agenda is consideration of approval to award construction contract for a new elementary school located at Aiken Elementary site to Dramala Construction. Mr. Gates.
Mr. Gates is already gone.
Mr. Gates, I'm already here.
I'm
You'll
sorry.
do. B team.
That's all right, I'm sorry. What we'd like to do today is approve the construction of, or the award the contract to Dramalia Construction for $16.6 million for the rebuilding of Aiken Elementary to a 1,000-seat elementary school. In the budget, we had approximately, we had a construction budget of $20.9 million. The bid came in at 16.6. We had 6 bidders, and that came out to approximately $156 a square foot, which right now in the construction world of what we based most of our stuff on is phenomenal. We based most of our stuff on approximately $200 a square foot, and we came in at 156. So that shows that, you know, we got a lot of people to bid on the project. We had good plans, and people want to come to Caney to work. So that's good. So we're asking you to approve that.
Are there any questions or further discussions? Is there a motion to award construction contract for new elementary school located at Aiken Elementary?
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. And I abstain. Motion is approved.
Thank y'all.
All right.
Item 13 on the agenda is consideration and possible action relating to pending litigation and possible resolution in DG versus New Caney ISD docket number 15-20079 before the United States Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals and docket number CA-H-12-3242 before the United States District Court for the Southern District of Texas, Houston Division, presented by Schlock.
Mr. Joe Tanguma discussed this with you in closed session, and basically would like to present to you the consideration and possible action relating to DG versus NCISD.
Any questions or further discussion? Is there a motion to approve and authorize the execution of the resolution?
I move that we approve and authorize the execution of the resolution and agreement between the parties as recommended by the administration and legal counsel in BG versus New Caney Independent School District, docket number 15.-20079 for the United States Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, and docket number CA-H-12-3242 for the United States District Court for the Southern District of Texas, Houston Division.
Second. The motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion is approved. There being no further business, this meeting is...
I move that Mr. Lockett go get breakfast.
This meeting is adjourned.